Good morning and thank you for joining us for State of Texas in Depth. I'm Josh Hinkle. The Texas Lieutenant Governor's race is heating up with a Republican runoff just over a month away. State Senator Dan Patrick faces off on May 27th against incumbent Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst. But a new poll finds either Republican may have an advantage in the November general election. Public policy polling found Patrick has a 16-point advantage over Democratic State Senator Leticia Vandepute. Dewhurst has an 18-point lead. Democrats don't fare well on the top of the ticket either, with Attorney General Greg Abbott leading State Senator Wendy Davis by 14 points. That's mostly unchanged from a poll in November with a 15-point split. Education has certainly been the big talker in both of those races recently. Very timely this week as some Texas senators reviewed the state of standardized testing. Members of the Education Committee are evaluating House Bill 5, which reduced the number of STAR tests needed to graduate. Educators and lawmakers disagreed on whether the exams were too tough or too lenient.
And it's one thing to say 76% have passed. It's another thing to say it only took a 37 to pass.
If we're going to argue that 25% of our students who are currently juniors in high school are not on track to graduate because of the exam, then we need to look at why. And it's just not all because we're not teaching them correctly.
We'll talk more about the STAR test and school fight this campaign season later with our political roundtable. Morgan Smith from the Texas Tribune and Ben Philpott from KUT will join us in the studio. On the higher education front this week, we learned Travis County District Attorney will have to decide whether to file criminal charges against a University of Texas system regent. This month, lawmakers finished a report saying Wallace Hall may have broken the law when he leaked confidential student information. The report also claims Hall manipulated the state House Committee's investigation and coerced witnesses. The Sergeant-at-Arms, Rod Welsh, confirmed to KXAN he sent that report over to the DA's office where prosecutors can decide whether to file criminal charges in the case. This week, a judge convened a Travis County grand jury to consider evidence surrounding criminal allegations against Governor Rick Perry. Last summer, Governor Perry vetoed funding for the Public Integrity Unit within the Travis County District Attorney's Office following DA Rosemary Lemberg's drunk driving case. This new advancement has legal experts talking.
The fact that Governor Perry has hired a high-profile defense attorney shows that this is serious.
Austin attorney David Botsford will represent Governor Perry in an investigation into whether Perry abused his power by vetoing funding for the Public Integrity Unit. It could take more than a month before the grand jury makes a decision on this case. Here's a closer look at what the Public Integrity Unit does. The unit has 3 divisions. One looks at insurance fraud cases, for example, someone selling fake policies. Another handles tax fraud involving motor fuels, things like a business not paying gasoline taxes. The 3rd division takes on accusations of fraud against state programs, as well as accusations of corruption by politicians or other public officials. After Perry vetoed state funding, the Public Integrity Unit staff dropped from 35 to 20 employees. It stopped handling statewide cases, handing some of them off to the Department of Insurance and the State Comptroller's Office. Travis County commissioners voted to contribute $1.7 million to keep the office open to cover local cases. The District Attorney's Office added $740,000 from an account of seized assets. Before the veto, the Public Integrity Unit was investigating fraud accusations involving grant money from the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, also called CPRIT. Some of the people who could be targeted by that investigation have ties to Governor Perry. A year after last year's explosion in the town of West, state leaders are looking into ways to keep you safe. At a House committee meeting at the Capitol this week, lawmakers discussed regulations to track dangerous chemicals. So far, though, not much has happened.
I don't have any problems with not passing or filing any bills when this happened, because as you heard, it's been a year. We've had a lot of dedicated people, and we still have a few unanswered questions.
15 people were killed in that explosion. Later, we'll take you to the town of West on the 1-year anniversary and show you how the community is rebuilding when State of Texas in Depth returns.